Before we get into today's show, if you're a part of Chiefs Kingdom, if you're a die-hard Kansas City Chiefs fan, I'm going to ask you guys to like this video. Shooting for 500 plus likes on today's show. Hey, the offseason is here. Free agency starts next week. The draft is next month. It's a lot of fun. Like the video, support us. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you love the Kansas City Chiefs, all you got to do is hit that thumbs up button. You're watching the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Appreciate everybody who tuned in on today's show. A couple of rumors to get into, but we'll start with some NFL news first. The salary cap number is finally set, and as expected, it will go down from last season due to the lack of income or less income this past season due to COVID-19, teams not being able to fill up stadiums. The cap is set at $182.5 million. That's an 8% decrease from last year's of $198.2 million. So how does that fit in with the Chiefs? Well, they will be roughly $21 million over the cap as of now. So Kansas City, over the next week or so before free agency begins, has to make some moves. They got to get within the salary cap number of that $182.5, which for Kansas City is actually $187.5 million because they had $5 million roll over from this past year. They got to make some moves. They got to clear some cap. But the good news is every team just about is in this situation. I'd say half, if not two-thirds of the league is over this year's cap because the cap rarely goes down, especially as much as $16 million, which is the case this year. Good news is it's expected to go up significantly next year, assuming we have a normal season in 2021. Also good news, the Chiefs have some pretty easy ways to clear cap space. You can give Tyrann Mathieu an extension, which I fully expect to happen. His cap hit this year is $19 million before he's set for free agency next year. Both sides want an extension. You extend him, you can lower his number for this year. You can restructure Frank Clark's deal. Maybe you propose a pay cut for him, or you can convert some of his money into a signing bonus. Mahomes and Kelsey aren't going to get a pay cut, but you can restructure their deals, give them a signing bonus now, convert some of the money into a signing bonus. Their cap hits will be larger in future years, but with the cap going up, that could make some sense as well. And then obviously you could release some players if you are Kansas City. There's a way to clear cap. $21 million sounds like a lot, but it's not as bad as some of these other teams like the Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. Name a player or players the Chiefs should cut to clear some cap space. Go ahead and get your votes in right now on this one. Name a player you guys think Kansas City should cut. And I put together a list of 4 players that could be prime salary cap cut candidates just over a month ago, which is why you should subscribe to the channel. We did a video like this. We do daily videos, rumors, news. We cover it all here on the Chiefs Report. If you want to find out who the Chiefs could cut to save some money, subscribe to the channel. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Look for this thumbnail, click on that video and watch that, and then check out all of our videos that we're publishing on the channel on just about a daily basis. We appreciate you guys who have subscribed already, but if you haven't, I encourage you guys to do so because it's 100% free news and rumors all off season long. Like I said, free agency is just around the corner, and we're going to cover it all here on the Chiefs Report. Let's talk NFL draft here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. How about drafting Northwestern corner Greg Newsome? This is a name that's rising up draft boards. He had his pro day at Northwestern on Tuesday and turned some heads. Now, keep in mind, these pro days could have some skewed numbers, especially when it comes to the 40-yard dash, because no NFL combine this year, so take some of these numbers with a grain of salt, especially the 40-yard dashes. But Newsome has been rising up draft boards in recent weeks, and a strong pro day is going to continue to vault him upward. I think he's a round 1 guy and a very possible option for the Chiefs if he's sitting there at number 31. He is a cornerback, of course. Here are some of his numbers. 4.38. Initially, it was a 4.31. That got corrected. 4.38 is where he settled in as. Probably more in the 4.4 something range, so keep that in mind. 40-inch vertical jump. His broad jump, 10 feet 3 inches. Good athlete there. Had a good 3-cone time. And then 18 reps on the bench, which is 225 pounds. That's good volume for a cornerback, so he has good strength as well. Good man coverage type of guy. Played really well for Northwestern in just 6 games this past season. season. And the Chiefs recently had a virtual meeting with Greg Newsome as well before his pro day. So this is already a player that's been on Brett Veach's radar in the pre-draft process. I like this kid. He's moving up the rankings for me as well. Like I said, I think he's probably going to sneak into round 1, which means if he's sitting there at 31, that's really, really good value for a guy like Greg Newsome. 6 foot, 192 pounds, has decent size there as a corner, and he's got the good athleticism traits and strength and speed combination as well. That's what you're looking for when you're evaluating the cornerback position. Would you draft Greg Newsome at number 31 overall? I want to hear it from you guys. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Go ahead and get your votes in. Do you want Greg Newsome at 31? I've got Newsome as my number 4 cornerback prospect right now. 1 and 2 are interchangeable for me. Patrick Surtain, Caleb Farley. Farley's got better physical traits, but Surtain's got more reps under his belt. He's played at a higher level in a higher conference, so kind of pick your whatever your flavor is there. J.C. Horn is another guy there. I think Newsome's entering that territory. I think 3 and 4 could be interchangeable. A lot of people like Asante Samuel Jr. He may project as more of a nickelback, a little undersized, but I like Newsome a lot. I like his size. I like his speed and strength combination as well. And in 6 games, he was really productive. 10 pass breakups in 6 games. That's pretty impressive. And Justin Fields basically didn't throw his way in that game where Northwestern's defense really, really challenged Fields in that game against Ohio State, had an interception. I like Greg Newsome quite a bit. I think he can be a guy that could be your other corner with L'Jarius Sneed. Imagine a Sneed and Newsome outside corner combo with Rashaad Fenton in the slot. I'm down. You bring back you extend Tyrann Mathieu. You got Juan Thornhill. Your secondary is set. You get another corner here, and then you don't even have to bring back a guy like Bashaud Breeland in free agency. We'll see what happens with Newsome, but I like the value at 31, and there is some interest from the Kansas City Chiefs. Who is your dream target in round 1? Don't say something like Justin Fields because, A, the Chiefs have a quarterback, and B, he's going to go top 10. Keep it realistic. Give me a dream target in round 1. I'm liking Newsome more and more, but let me know who your dream target is for the Chiefs. Now, today's show presented by BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Plug in our promo code for Chiefs Kingdom only, Chiefs125. That's going to get you a 125% deposit bonus. And we're bringing back the jersey deal for the next week. So we're publishing this video on March 10th. You got through March 17th to take advantage of the jersey deal. New customers only. Once you get going at chatsports.com/ChiefsBet, promo code Chiefs125. If you place a bet on either March Madness or Conference Tournament Week, which is already underway in college basketball, Kansas fans, I know you're out there, Missouri fans, hey, K-State fans, you're playing TCU tonight. Maybe you're feeling good about the Cats. Chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Get that promo code Chiefs125 and email us, chiefs@chatsports.com. After you do so, we'll hook you guys up with a brand new Chiefs jersey. Last one here. Could the Chiefs tender Byron Pringle, which essentially means bring him back? I think this is pretty likely at this point. He's an exclusive rights free agent, which means the Chiefs have complete control on his free agency because he has just 2 accrued seasons. He was an undrafted kid, which means Kansas City has control. And with Sammy Watkins and DeMarcus Robinson entering free agency and less likely to return, he could be in line for a bigger role in 2021 in Kansas City. I like what I've seen from Byron Pringle in limited opportunities. Tendering him is a no-brainer. You want to bring him back for the next season for a couple of reasons. One, this could be your number 3 wide receiver. That's very much a possibility. At worst, number 4 probably. Great special teams guy too. And then also, he's going to be cheap. Exclusive rights free agents, it's going to cost like less than $2 million to tender and bring him back. So I think this is a no-brainer. He's an obvious tender candidate for Kansas City. We'll see what happens with Robinson and Sammy Watkins. We'll see if McCole Hardman ascends to being that number 2 wide receiver. It's very possible the Chiefs sign a true outside type of player like a Marvin Jones, or try to bring back a Sammy Watkins, or maybe draft a receiver. But I think Byron Pringle is in line for more opportunities. I think at minimum he will be the number 4 receiver for Kansas City next year. Tendering him is absolutely a no-brainer. And what do you guys think? Should the Chiefs bring Pringle back? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. I think it's obvious he's cheap, and he's shown good things when he's gotten opportunities. So I'm going to type my 1 for yes. you look at the efficiency here in 2 seasons here, right? 29 games played the last 2 years, only 33 targets, but he's caught 25 of those. What does that tell me? That tells me when Mahomes looks his way, he's open and he catches the football. I mean, that's a 75% or so rate, almost 80% catch rate when he's targeted. That's very high. Now, that's a low sample size, but he got more reps than DeMarcus Robinson late in the season last year. I think the Chiefs were checking him out in anticipation of him having a bigger role this next season. I like Pringle. He's a great kickoff return specialist. I think he can be a number 3 type of receiver in the National Football League. And again, the key here is with the Chiefs salary cap situation, cheap, and he can be productive. I like Byron Pringle's chances of playing a bigger role next season. So go ahead and fill in the blank. Predict this one for me. Byron Pringle will be the Chiefs' number blank receiver in 2021. Number 2 receiver, number 3, number 4. I think 3 or 4 is kind of that sweet spot for Byron Pringle. Predict it for me, fill in the blank, and we'll see you next time.